Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Major General Dr. Shri, founder of Bunkerman Global Solutions Private Limited, New Delhi. First of all, I am thankful to the International Institute of Organized Research and the organizers of 16th International Conference on Interdisciplinary Research for Sustainable Development, IRSD 2025, for giving me this opportunity to deliver this keynote address on solutions and strategies to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. During next about 15 minutes, I shall be talking to you about a new indigenous technology called Bunkerman technology, which starts with meeting the United Nations SDG 13, that is climate action, but it also simultaneously fulfills the requirement of SDG 3, SDG 7, SDG 9, SDG 11, SDG 12 and SDG 17. The topic of my discussion is direct carbon capture at negative cost, a pathway to achieve United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Friends, you are well aware that today the world is facing a major problem of rising pollution in big cities like Delhi, global warming and climate change. In India itself, we are losing about 1.7 million people every year due to air pollution related diseases like asthma, lung cancer, heart attacks, strokes and cognitive decline. For the past few decades, the government and several organizations in the world are trying to mitigate this problem, but no practical solution is found so far to stop this rising trend of pollution, global warming and climate change in the world. To understand this problem, let us study this graph which explains the level of CO2 rising in atmospheric air from the year 1000 to 2016. The level of CO2 in atmospheric air used to be ranging between 280 parts per million to 300 parts per million from the year 1000 to about year 1900. But after the onset of industrial era and particularly after the year 1900, this level is rising almost exponentially due to uncontrolled industrialization, increase in population and a very fast pace of development, including the change of lifestyle by human beings on this earth. Today, the world average of CO2 in atmospheric air has already risen from earlier 280 parts per million to about 425 parts per million. But in places like Delhi, it is now crossing even 600 to 900 parts per million at several places. This is now becoming a cause of great concern for us. If we do not arrest this rising trend of CO2 in atmosphere now, then very soon it is going to cross a very dangerous level of 5000 parts per million in near future, as shown in this graph. As you can see in this graph that the acceptable level of CO2 in indoor breathing air is about 500 to 700 parts per million. People start having complaints of stuffiness and odors beyond this level. Even the ASHRAE recommends a maximum level of 1000 parts per million for CO2 in indoor air. Any further increase of CO2 beyond 1000 parts per million results into general drowsiness and adverse health effects. A level of 5000 parts per million may lead to serious oxygen deprivation, leading to permanent brain damage, coma or even death. Therefore, at this level, there is a danger even to the basic survival of human beings and other life on earth. And that is the reason why the whole world is now worried about the devastating nature of rising pollution, global warming and climate change. Fortunately, the Bunkerman technology addresses this problem and provides a sustainable solution as shown in these pictures. This picture shows that prior to onset of industrial era, whatever CO2 was being generated by human beings on earth, it used to be absorbed by natural trees and plants and other natural system on earth. And these trees and plants used to provide us food and oxygen in return. So there was a very good sustainable system existing on this earth for hundreds and thousands of years, but subsequently, due to increase in industries, vehicles, traffic, increase in air conditioning, deforestation, etc., the increased carbon emission in environment has gone beyond the absorption capacity of the natural system on earth, thus resulting into disruption of this earlier existing sustainable system. Over the past few decades, our government is trying to overcome this problem by adopting several techniques such as grow more trees, green buildings, non-conventional energy, CNG, electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel, ethanol-based fuels, etc. But this rising graph of global warming and CO2 content in atmospheric air is not going to stop, and it is continuously rising further at a steeper rate than earlier. The reason for this is that whatever little reduction we achieve in carbon emission by above measures, it is getting nullified and being overtaken by further increase of carbon emission due to increase in population, industrialization, increase in vehicular traffic, air conditioning and other development activities. Therefore, the model adopted to solve this problem should be such that it is able to reduce the atmospheric pollution despite all the above increasing factors in future. The model presented by Bunkerman technology fortunately offers such a befitting model to suit the above requirement. In Bunkerman systems, we absorb CO2, VOCs and all 8 air pollutants of AQI, that is PM2.5, PM10, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, ammonia, ozone and lead, and also other toxic gases present in the air into our Bunkerman filters, and we do not release these pollutants back to the atmospheric air. The filter material is so designed that it gets enriched by the air pollutants in such a way that the resulting material becomes a combination of stable compounds which can be utilized to manufacture mineral-rich organic manure. This manure provides nutrients to farmers, crops, trees and plants. Thus, the complete cycle of movement of air pollution forms a sustainable eco-friendly system as shown in this picture. This way, Bunkerman systems work as a supplement to natural trees and plants. They absorb the excessive CO2 and other pollutants from the air, both indoor as well as outdoor, which have now become beyond the capacity of the natural trees, plants and other systems on the earth. And these are converted into mineral-rich organic manure, which ultimately results into more production of food and oxygen by crops, trees and plants on the earth. Thus, an existing sustainable system which got disrupted by global warming may be fully restored on earth now by using this Bunkerman technology. Another advantage of using Bunkerman systems is that when these systems get integrated with the central air conditioning systems of buildings, they result into a power saving of 40 to 60% in AC plants. This saving is achieved by eliminating a large number of air changes per hour to control CO2 concentration within specified limits in such buildings. This will be explained shortly while covering the successful case studies by use of this technology. Another reason why the present measures adopted by government are proving to be insufficient for climate action is that so far people are considering only the fossil fuel industries and vehicles as resources of pollution. A very important and significant part of CO2 emission in air due to respiration by human beings and livestock have been so far neglected by the researchers and planners for the reasons known to them. Some of them justify it calling them as natural phenomena which should be taken care of by the natural systems of the earth. This justification of theirs could be accepted before the onset of industrial era when the CO2 level in air was in the range of 280 to 300 parts per million and the population on the earth was limited. But now, since the natural system of trees and plants existing on earth is already failed due to overloading, this significant factor cannot be neglected anymore. Bunkerman has found in their study that in India about 13% CO2 emission is just by human respiration and about 15% is due to respiration by livestock. The fossil fuel and industries are responsible only for 72% of rest of the pollution in India as shown in this figure. Now this 28% of CO2 emission by respiration comes to approximately 40% of the total pollution often talked about in India, that is by fossil fuel and industries. Therefore, the CO2 emission by respiration by human beings and livestock, which is 28%, it becomes a significant figure to be tackled if we want to arrest our environmental system at its present level or want to restore it back to the pre-industrial era level. This is what has been attempted by Bunkerman technology. It is also to be understood that human being multiplies the CO2 content in atmospheric air by a factor of about 146 with every inhale and exhale of air during respiration as shown in this figure. This is the main reason that in closed spaces and AC buildings, the CO2 content is often found exceeding the permissible limit of 1000 ppm. The same thing happens to VOCs, which keep accumulating in the closed indoor space. And since this adversely affects the human health and cognitive decline, it becomes essential to tackle this problem on priority. The Bunkerman systems ensure this in their design and thus provide a desired indoor air quality in buildings as given in the table shown here. It is also important to understand that a human being generates about 450 kg of CO2 in a year, while a fully grown tree of 10 to 15 years of age is capable of absorbing only 20 to 25 kg of CO2 in a year. Thus, in case we want to control the CO2 level in atmosphere merely by planting more trees, then we need about 17 trees per person to absorb CO2 emitted by us merely by respiration, about 20 trees per person for our livestock, and about 94 trees per person for the CO2 emission for our industrial products. So this way we need about 131 trees per person in India, whereas we have got only 28 trees per person in our country as on date. Now tell me, will it be ever possible for India to have 131 natural trees per person ever? Certainly not. And look at the international records of number of trees per person in this figure. In fact, we should be thankful to the countries like South America, Canada, Bolivia, Russia, etc., which are having thousands of trees per person. The world climate is safe today because of their trees in thousands and hundreds per person, and not just because of our 28 trees per person. And look at our neighbors, like Pakistan has got only 5 trees, Israel 2 trees per person, Egypt 1 tree per person, Singapore almost 0, less than 1 tree, Saudi Arabia less than 1, Qatar less than 1, UAE less than 1, Bangladesh is having about 6 trees per person. And these are the countries which are directly affecting our environment in India. Therefore, while planting of more trees must be encouraged, but depending merely on plantation of the trees may not be sufficient to solve the problem in current scenario. And hence there is a need of the technology like Bunkerman, which provides the system working as thousands and millions of artificial trees to absorb the air pollution and convert it into mineral-rich organic manure. It has been proved that with Bunkerman technology, the buildings in metro cities, which are often called concrete jungles, they can clean the environment 1,000 times better than the green forest on that area. Now I will tell you some successful case studies which have actually been implemented on ground in India. First case study is DDS control center at Guwahati. The Bunkerman systems have been successfully used in India over past about 2 years. The first major system was installed at DDCS control center Guwahati refinery for corrosion control and CO2 and TOC removal in a large space of about 9,000 cubic meter. The system is perfectly working for the past about 18 months and maintaining the G1 conditions for corrosion control and CO2 and VOC levels within permissible limits as designed. The system has resulted in a power saving of about 40% by eliminating 95 air changes per day in the building. Earlier, the building was requiring 4 air changes per hour, but now it is running satisfactorily with just 1 air change in 24 hours. Thus, a power saving of about 2 lakh rupees per month is being achieved by this system. The ROI has been fully achieved in just 15 months' time, and now the system is earning Guwahati refinery a power saving of worth 2 lakh rupees per month. In addition to this, the refinery is ready to claim the carbon credits equivalent to 8,597 trees, amounting to rupees 3,87,000 per year as shown in these tables. Also, about 45 ductable Bunkerman units have been installed in 15 chemical laboratories of Guwahati refinery with 17 numbers of facility management systems. These are also working satisfactorily and ensuring the desired indoor air quality as per specifications in these laboratories over the past about 8 months. Bunkerman standalone models of different kinds have also been installed in number of houses, offices, shops, factories, hospitals, hotels, data centers, etc. in India. These have also been working perfectly and providing good indoor air quality as per specifications over the past about 2 years. Also, Bunkerman provides the outdoor units working as artificial trees to absorb pollution from the ambient air and convert it to mineral-rich organic manure. These units have been installed in open space like verandas, rooftops, gardens, etc. These are also functioning properly and cleaning the environment over the past about 2 years in different locations in India. Some projects which are under planning. This is the case study of a pilot project for an office building in Gurgaon, housing about 334 persons. Since the CO2 level in the building was rising to 2000 parts per million, the users were going to increase the installed capacity of AC plant from 185 ton to 255 ton. But with the integration of a bunkerman technology, we have reduced the AC load from 255 ton to 165 tons. Thus, a power saving of 40% is achieved in this building by bunkerman systems. In addition, this building will have the advantages like ensuring the desired indoor air quality, controlling the VOC, corrosion control for electronic equipment, and they will also claim carbon credits and become net zero before the scheduled time. A long-term proposal for solving the problem of rising pollution in Delhi by use of bunkerman technology is also under examination by Delhi government. They have proved to Delhi government that if they deploy the bunkerman technology of direct carbon capture at negative cost in Delhi, they can reduce the power consumption in Delhi to the tune of rupees 568 crore per month. In addition, Delhi government can earn the carbon credits worth 83 crore per month. Other recommendations to the government are as shown in this table. To summarize, I would like to say that bunkerman technology ensures direct carbon capture at negative cost. It removes all 8 pollutants of AQI, CO2, TVOC and other air pollutants. It also converts air pollution into mineral-rich organic manure, thus moving pollution from air to soil. It results into 40 to 60% energy saving in HVAC systems. It removes indoor and outdoor air pollution simultaneously. It is a fully circular, sustainable and eco-friendly system. At the end, I would like to say that with bunkerman system, while we directly meet the United Nations SDG 13, that is climate action, but simultaneously these systems also meet the other SDGs as enumerated in this slide. Bunkerman technology starts with meeting SDG 13, that is climate action, by direct carbon capture at negative cost, reduction of greenhouse gases, power saving and earning carbon credits. But it also fulfills the following SDGs: good health and well-being. It provides clean indoor air which reduces fatigue, headache, respiratory diseases and improves cognitive performance. SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. About 40 to 60% energy saving is done in HVAC systems by bunkerman technology. SDG 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. Indigenous scalable technology integrated in buildings, industries, hospitals, data centers, shopping malls, hotels, etc. fulfills this aim of this SDG 9. Also, sustainable cities and communities. The indoor and outdoor units are installed to capture toxic gases, CO2, TVOC and particulate matters, which will ensure sustainable cities and communities. SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. Pollution is converted into MROM, which increases the agricultural production. So it meets SDG 12. SDG 17, partnership for goals, is also met by collaboration with oil industries, government departments, corporates and institutions. This way, this is the right approach to achieve the aims of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.